Welcome to TV Briefing. The content of the briefing includes French actor Depardieu faces being stripped of Legion of Honor medal. As ByteDance retreats in video games, MiHoYo claims global wins with new title. Ray Romano says reviving Everybody Loves Raymond is out of the question, reboots are never as good. Here's why Canada's Cantaloupe crisis is still going strong after 6 weeks. Barry Keoghan sounds off on Saltburns' most shocking scenes and rooting for Oliver through his fecked-up obsession. French actor Depardieu faces being stripped of Legion of Honor medal. South China Morning Post. French actor Gérard Depardieu may lose his Legion of Honor medal, France's highest distinction, as disciplinary proceedings have been initiated against him. The culture minister described Depardieu's recent comments in a television report as disgusting and misogynistic. In the report, Depardieu made questionable comments about women and their sexuality. The Council of the Order will meet to decide whether Depardieu should be stripped of his honor. Depardieu's lawyers have stated that he will make his medal available to the Minister of Culture, but criticized her initiative as potentially undermining the presumption of innocence. Depardieu is already under investigation for allegations of rape and sexual abuse. As ByteDance retreats in video games, MiHoYo claims global wins with new title. South China Morning Post. MiHoYo, the Chinese video game studio behind Genshin Impact, has achieved global success once again with its latest game, Honkai: Star Rail. The role-playing gacha game has won several major awards, including Apple Store's iPhone Game of the Year, Google Play's Best Game of 2023, and Best Mobile Game from the Game Awards. This success follows the international recognition received by Genshin Impact, highlighting the potential of Chinese video games despite a sluggish industry environment. In contrast, ByteDance, the owner of TikTok, is retreating from the gaming sector and planning layoffs at its gaming studio Neverse. Ray Romano says reviving Everybody Loves Raymond is out of the question, reboots are never as good. Yahoo! Ray Romano has ruled out a Everybody Loves Raymond reboot. The actor addressed the possibility on Real Time with Bill Maher, saying the deaths of co-stars Peter Boyle and Doris Roberts made a revival impossible. Here's why Canada's Cantaloupe crisis is still going strong after 6 weeks. CBC. A widespread salmonella outbreak linked to contaminated cantaloupes is still affecting people in Canada, weeks after the fruit was recalled. Cantaloupes can stay fresh for weeks, as well as withstand freezing, so the bacteria is harder to eliminate. In addition, many people may still have the fruit stowed away in freezers, and some don't pay attention to recalls. The Canadian outbreak has affected those in 8 provinces and has been linked to 6 deaths. It has also affected hundreds in 42 U.S. states. Barry Keoghan sounds off on Saltburns' most shocking scenes and rooting for Oliver through his fecked-up obsession. Yahoo! Barry Keoghan is a 31-year-old Irish actor who has appeared in a variety of roles and movies. Despite this, Keoghan is never seen acting as he slips into his characters so seamlessly that the audience forgets they are watching a performance. Keoghan is able to terrify or endear us as periphery characters. In 2022, Keoghan cameoed as the Joker in The Batman and played the role of Oliver Quick in Saltburn, his first leading film role. Juan Martin Gonzalez stars as Saracens come from behind to defeat Connacht. Telegraph. Juan Martin Gonzalez has made an impressive start to his career at Saracens after joining the club from London Irish in the summer. The Argentine forward has fitted in seamlessly at Saracens, providing a powerful and athletic presence in the back row. After helping his country to reach the World Cup semi-finals, Gonzalez has continued to impress, scoring a fine try in the club's victory over Connacht. Director of rugby Mark McCall has praised the 23-year-old, highlighting his maturity and work ethic, and stating that he has made an immediate impact on the team. Saracens recovered well from their opening defeat to the Bulls in South Africa, with Jamie George scoring 2 tries from driving mauls as the team dominated Connacht. However, there was controversy as England captain Owen Farrell was sin-binned for pushing Connacht's Shane Bolton after being pushed himself. Saracens' victory has put them back on track in the Champions Cup, and McCall was pleased with the team's response after the loss to the Bulls. Cheyenne firearms historian Evan Green sticks to the facts and knows when to speculate. Yahoo! Evan Green, 79, has been volunteering at the Wyoming State Museum since 2015, but for the past few years, he has been working as the museum's resident firearm historian. With help from Google and other sources, Green has learned to identify when and where a gun was made by referencing the serial number, patent and traits of a weapon. The majority of the time, that's all he needs to determine the basic background of the firearm, how it might have made its way to Wyoming, and who might have used it. The trouble is, solidifying a place and time of production doesn't answer every question. That's when he starts to speculate. The most frustrating and difficult part of what I do is a lot of the firearms come in and have stories associated with them, he said. Those are hard to confirm and usually equally hard to say, no, that is probably not a true story. 2023 was the year your streaming bill got a lot more expensive. Yahoo! A growing number of US subscribers are canceling streaming services, as the prices of these plans are increasing, according to data from Antenna. In October, nearly 6% of subscribers canceled plans, the highest recorded rate. Apple TV Plus was the hardest hit, with 7.2% of subscribers canceling, followed by Warner Bros. Discovery's Max, 8.4%, and Discovery Plus, 9.2%. However, Netflix has the lowest churn rate at just 1.6%. In addition, the latest data from Statista predicts Apple TV Plus will lose around $6 billion on its streaming video business in 2024 as a result of its price hikes. Wall Street Week, BlackRock's reader sees exceptional economy. Bloomberg. The Federal Reserve's recent pivot towards easing has waved a checkered flag on the rise in interest rates and credit losses in portfolios, according to BlackRock's Rick Reader. Morgan Stanley's Lauren Hochfelder believes the commercial real estate market has been hit hard this year, but sees opportunities, particularly in industrial property. Meanwhile, Glenn August of Oak Hill Advisors expects significant growth in the private credit market due to the need to support mergers and acquisitions and refinance over $1 trillion of debt in the next 3 to 4 years. Mayim Bialik announces she has been dropped as Jeopardy! Host. The Independent. Mayim Bialik has announced via Instagram that she will no longer be hosting the American quiz show Jeopardy! Bialik had been one of the guest hosts that were brought in after the death of the show's longtime host, Alex Trebek. Following an initial controversy over a sexist comment made by executive producer Mike Richards, Bialik and former Jeopardy! Champion Ken Jennings split hosting duties, however Jennings will now be the sole host for the syndicated version of the show. Jeopardy! Production company Sony confirmed that it hopes to continue working with Bialik on primetime specials. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six from the 6 Degrees World, here to bring you the latest news and insights from around the globe. Let's dive right in. First up, we have the French actor Gérard Depardieu facing the possibility of being stripped of his Legion of Honor medal, France's highest distinction. Depardieu's recent comments have been described as disgusting and misogynistic, leading to disciplinary proceedings against him. It seems that even the most esteemed honors are not immune to controversy. Next, we have the Chinese video game studio MiHoYo making waves with its latest game, Honkai: Star Rail. Following the success of Genshin Impact, MiHoYo continues to prove that Chinese video games have global appeal. On the other hand, ByteDance, the owner of TikTok, is retreating from the gaming sector. It's a tale of two companies heading in different directions. In entertainment news, actor Ray Romano has put an end to any hopes of an Everybody Loves Raymond reboot. Romano cited the passing of his co-stars as a major factor in this decision. It seems that some things are best left in the past. Moving on to a more serious matter, Canada is still grappling with a salmonella outbreak linked to contaminated cantaloupes. The longevity of the fruit and the lack of attention to recalls have contributed to the prolonged crisis. Let's hope they can get to the bottom of this and prevent further harm. In the world of film, Irish actor Barry Keoghan is receiving high praise for his ability to seamlessly slip into his characters. His performances are so convincing that audiences forget they are watching a performance. From his role as the Joker to his leading role in Saltburn, Keoghan continues to impress with his versatility. In sports, Juan Martin Gonzalez is making a name for himself at Saracens, impressing with his powerful presence in the back row. Director of rugby Mark McCall has praised the young Argentine for his maturity and immediate impact on the team. However, there was some controversy as England captain Owen Farrell was sin-binned for pushing his opponent. It seems even the best can lose their cool on the field. Shifting gears, we have the fascinating story of Evan Green, the firearm historian who volunteers at the Wyoming State Museum. Green's ability to piece together the history of firearms is impressive, but it's the stories associated with them that pose a challenge. Speculation becomes necessary when concrete evidence is lacking. Sometimes, the truth is elusive. Now, let's talk about streaming services. It seems that the rising prices of these plans are leading to an increase in cancellations among US subscribers. Apple TV Plus took the biggest hit, followed by Warner Bros. Discovery's Max and Discovery Plus. However, Netflix seems to be holding steady with the lowest churn rate. It's a tough competition out there in the streaming world. On the financial front, BlackRock's Rick Reader sees the Federal Reserve's recent pivot towards easing as a positive sign, waving a checkered flag on the rise in interest rates and credit losses. Meanwhile, Morgan Stanley's Lauren Hochfelder sees opportunities in the commercial real estate market, particularly in industrial property. And Glenn August of Oak Hill Advisors predicts significant growth in the private credit market. It seems the economic landscape is full of opportunities for those who know where to look. Lastly, Mayim Bialik has announced that she will no longer be hosting Jeopardy! After the controversy surrounding executive producer Mike Richards, Bialik and Ken Jennings took on hosting duties. However, Jennings will now be the sole host for the syndicated version of the show. It's a bittersweet moment for Bialik, but there may be other opportunities on the horizon. And there you have it, folks. Another round of intriguing news and stories from around the world. Now, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on these topics? Do you have any questions or opinions to share? Let's spark a lively discussion. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.